And Tom, you have exclusive information on what you think Meghan's next move is.
Well, my view is that she is writing her memoirs and that the rest of this...
Oh, no.
It's going to be a huge money spinner. And all this, what we've seen this last week, is absolute media manipulation of the most extraordinary kind. First of all, this dancing at the Beyoncé concert, which was clearly all set up to film her hugging Harry. That was all phony. And then Harry knocking the media for not being nice to the Afghan victims, which was completely untrue. Harry's outrageous entry to the St George's Chapel just when the Cambridges were doing their service for remembrance of the late Queen. But I thought tonight this was really ridiculous. There was Harry doing really good stuff with the Invictus Games, but playing on these poor victims of war to somehow promote himself in Dusseldorf, which was absolutely, I thought, pretty nauseating. And for her, Meghan, to pretend that she was late because she had to give her children milkshakes was just ludicrous. I mean, this is a woman who talked tonight about the importance of family. The importance of family. From Meghan Markle, who did her best to destroy the royal family, who ignores her own father, who talks about we've got to look after victims and leaves her father in Mexico with a stroke and doesn't visit him, and talks about family values. These are two real imposters. And what is really annoying is that we shouldn't have to in any way admire what they're doing in Dusseldorf, because they have wrecked with all their lies. The lies on Oprah Winfrey, the lies in Spare, the lies that Harry said in his interviews about his father and his brother. And he comes to England, makes no attempt to visit his father or brother, makes no attempt to apologise for his past behaviour. Meghan carries on her lies and all the rest of it, and it really is shocking.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, modern alchemists who have perfected the art of turning grievance into gold. Once again, we find ourselves drawn into their ongoing production, a saga of victimhood, self-promotion, and carefully curated indignation. This time, their latest performance comes courtesy of the Invictus Games, an event that should be a celebration of courage and resilience but has, predictably, become a backdrop for their ever-expanding narrative. Let me be clear. The Invictus Games are a truly noble endeavour. But nobility, like honesty, requires more than borrowed grandeur. What we've seen isn't philanthropy. It's brand maintenance dressed up as altruism. Harry and Meghan have become experts at leveraging causes for personal reinvention, turning every humanitarian effort into a PR opportunity.
That we in any way afford them any respect
even
whatsoever.
though the Invictus Games is a great cause, it used to be a brilliant thing, actually, because their behaviour is so, it's contemptible, really. We shouldn't give the Invictus Games.
Well, we should give the Invictus Games because the participants and the idea was brilliant, and it is being run very, very well, not by Harry, but by the administrators, and it is terrific for the contestants. I'm all for that. But the Sussexes are using it for their own promotion, and that is what's so nauseating, because in the end, of course, Alison Boshoff was right. They are looking for a new brand.
They're trying to separate their brands.
Well, they're desperate. What's interesting is they haven't got a platform anymore. No magazine is going to interview Meghan Markle anymore. Spotify and Netflix are not going to commission them to do more reports. So they're desperate for somehow to be seen. And they're using the Invictus Games as their platform for promotion.
And what must be so difficult for them, Tom, is that things are just working out brilliantly for the Prince and Princess of Wales. I mean,
she looked terrific today.
Coming up. And talk to me about this visit. This was quite bold, wasn't it?
It was bold, but she looks terrific, Kate. And she's intelligent, and she is so convincing and sincere. And we're very, very lucky to have her. And we're very lucky that Meghan isn't here anymore, in my view, because she really poisoned the atmosphere. Yeah. So there we are. We're caught between the rock and a hard place in this, but it's not a good view from Dusseldorf.
But what I like about Kate is she's taking these risks, but she's doing it in a very sensible manner, always connected to important issues, and she shares just enough of herself. So we obviously saw her at the weekend on the rugby podcast having a bit of a laugh with her husband, but it's not sharing deep, dark secrets. It's teasing him for pretending that he's good at rugby. And today she had her hand wrapped up, and we learned that it's because she's had a little injury on her trampoline. So she shares just enough without being uncouth, I guess, in the way that Harry and Meghan are.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she is a star performer and a star person. And we're very lucky. And the King is very lucky because King Charles at the moment, in my view, is going through a doldrums. I don't know if he can pull himself out of it. I think he's not having a great run on his first anniversary. But everything is saved by Kate and her husband. That's the truth.
And William's obviously got his trip to New York as well.
And it's very important. And what's interesting is he is so popular in America. And Harry
Far
and
more
Meghan
popular than Harry and Meghan.
Much more popular. May long last.
I mean, William, now the most, at this point in time, the most respected public figure.
A week ago, she was dancing front row at a Beyoncé concert, camera conveniently in tow. A few days later, she's presenting herself as a selfless supporter of veterans. The message is clear. Meghan can be whatever the market demands. Need a carefree pop culture icon? Done. Need a devoted mother who just happened to be late because she was making milkshakes for her kids? Sure thing. It's the art of reinvention without any of the messy business of authenticity. Of course, there's nothing wrong with reinvention. What grates is the shameless opportunism. These are two people who claim to loathe the media but seem utterly incapable of functioning without it. They are not content with simply being heard, they demand to be center stage. And what about Harry? Here we have a man who left royal life to protect his privacy, only to sell every intimate detail of his family to the highest bidder. He has Monetized his pain, casting himself as both the victim and the oracle of royal dysfunction. His memoir, Spare, was not so much an autobiography as a reckoning, a clumsy attempt to rewrite his past and settle old scores, all while paradoxically claiming the moral high ground. Meanwhile, back in Britain, Prince William and Kate Middleton quietly go about their work without the drama, the spectacle, or the endless lectures on compassion and healing. They embody the very qualities that Harry and Meghan claim to champion but consistently fail to deliver: dignity, restraint, and genuine service. Actions, as it turns out, speak louder than podcasts. But the tide is turning, isn't it? The industry that once fawned over the Sussexes is moving on. Their multi-million-dollar Spotify deal collapsed, Netflix appears disinterested in more royal content, and no major outlet seems eager to grant Meghan another glossy cover spread. The audience that once eagerly consumed their tales of injustice has grown weary, sensing that the storylines are starting to repeat themselves, like a poorly written sequel to an already shaky blockbuster. Perhaps the problem is that authenticity can't be fabricated. People eventually see through the carefully polished veneers, the performative compassion, the relentless self-promotion. And when the applause dies down, and the cameras stop flashing, what remains? Substance, or just the echo of another speech, another headline, another carefully curated image? Time will tell. But as far as the public is concerned, Harry and Meghan's performance is running out of encores. And when the curtain finally falls, I suspect they'll find it a lot harder to reinvent themselves yet again. After all, even the best actors can only play so many roles before the audience walks out.